This is your boy Will-Iam coming to you. I'm live. I'm live, man. And I hope everybody is having a great day. Everybody's feeling the same kind of way. But guess what? We know pretty much that's not always possible. And the reason that's not always possible, because in life, things happen, and that's just a part of life. We always say, you know, life be life. Life be life. But I'm here on this great Friday. I hope everybody's having a great day. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody is inspired to be the best versions of themselves. I hope everybody is on a grind and on a purpose. Yo, this your boy. Well, I am, man. And, you know, I was thinking of some things that some people I talked to a few cats. And we was talking about relationships, relationships. And you cannot take uh, relationships for granted. Um, whether it's friends, whether it's people um, that you like deal with, family. You know what I'm saying? Relationships, bonds, and we can oftentimes think that it's supposed to be a lifetime journey. Hey, a lifetime journey. You know what I'm saying? We could think because we're in a relationship with a person that it's till death do us part. But that is not always the case. I'm just being real with you. That's not always the case in relationships. You know what I'm saying? Relationships takes work. It takes time. It takes an ability to at least have enough wisdom to understand that you have two people that's coming from two different backgrounds and to in the process of that to be able to be one. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we don't look at the oneness. A lot of times we don't really like think about of have conversations about having two people that comes from different backgrounds. We don't think about two people coming from two different walks of life. But actually that's what makes a marriage. Like if you would you talk to you know older people or what I'm saying, even young successful marriages, what I'm saying, I think that's like one of the differences um, that they understand about marriage, because it's like it's two people coming from two different backgrounds willing to be able to strive and operate in purpose and operate in goals and operate in certain capacities of what it takes. You know what I'm saying? Um, like I said, it's not easy, but it's like you have to put the most of the work deals with you dealing with yourself and like whoever you marry, your spouse. It's like even though y'all are together, but guess what? You still have certain ways that goes against. I mean, goes against each other. It goes against each other. You know what I'm saying? It goes against. You know, you could be married to somebody, and you can finally realize. You know what? At the end of the day, what they stand for goes completely against. You know what I'm saying? My family dynamic or how I was raised and all of that stuff. And or vice versa. She can look at you and have the same kind of like thing going on. You know what I'm saying? No, you know, you don't do this, you don't do that. It goes completely against the dynamic of what it takes. And people have that issue every day. And it's some people figure it out. And then you have some people and it's like, yo, it ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth um dealing in a situation um where it can go completely against um everything. You know what I'm saying? And see the thing about it, when you have this situation, a lot of times, because it's levels. You could meet a person, we could vibe together, um, and we could have great sex. We could have all of that, but at the same time, I still never took the time to really like learn you. I never took the time to really take the time to really see. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, when you have the sexual thing, that's a natural. That's a natural thing. You know what I'm saying? Um, but when that happens, it's never on a place where I know who you are. It's on a place where, look, y'all guys make sure you share this. Um, you know what I'm saying? If this resonating with you, share it. But it's never on a place where the person resonates resonates with you, resonates with who you are, resonates with your values, resonates with your, you know what I'm saying, with what you want, who you are as a person. And then, I mean, and this goes for men and women. This does just don't go for a man or just go for a woman. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has, in some shape or form, this situation, you know what I'm saying, that I'm talking about. But oftentimes, we would choose to, like, cast blame. Once the relationship go to the left, we gonna cast blame. And once we cast blame, that's not necessarily saying that we are willing to deal with the underneath conflicts of why our relationship didn't work. And a lot of times it takes communication. Communication. That's why, you know what I'm saying, you women, you always need to be in communication with your man. I'm telling you. If and vice versa. Men, you always need to be in communication with your significant other, your lady. You know what I'm saying? You have to keep that part of your relationship intact. You have to keep that part of your core of communication. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. The enemy, he doesn't attack with your communication. Long as y'all communicating and y'all talking, y'all making things plain. Because when you communicating, communication is an act of expression. So if it's an act of expression, that means I'm giving expression of me, you're giving expression of you, right? And what the enemy wants to do is take away the expression of me, and he want to take the expression what I mean, take away the expression of her. So it's like, yo, you guys make sure you share this, man. This is gonna bless you. This is gonna bless you. If the communication is being taken away, if the communication is being taken away, then there is a lining of absence. Absence. If there's a lining of absence within the communication of the relationship, okay? Now, I would say, me personally, based off of what I believe, my faith, I would say that gives the enemy way to come between our relationship, right? But guess what? Everybody don't believe or everybody don't flow with that way of thinking. So I would say the universe, if you know what I'm saying, you alter your gifts to the universe will know about division. All of this stuff that we deal with dealing in relationships is a spiritual, it's more spiritual than we think. And this time of hour, make sure you look, make sure you share the video, man. Share the video. Let somebody know that I am live. And if hey, share the video. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Um, but not only God knows about your situation. You feel what I'm saying? But the universe knows about your situation. And if you don't have the correct communication to really like get in locks of what's going on, you are allowing room for the enemy or the universe. The universe could operate in a good way, and the universe could operate in a bad way. You feel what I'm saying? So if you're having issues like in your relationships, you have to be um, straightforward of how you think and how you feel about things that are going on in your relationship. You have to be honest with yourself about things that are going about in relationships. You feel what I'm saying? Because one thing about relationships, it has to have reciprocity. If there's no reciprocity in relationships, that's a doom to destruction. That's a doom to destruction. If you are not recognizing your better half or your man, or recognizing and giving your woman accolades based off of, you know what I'm saying, giving them their flowers while they're living, that is a place, you feel me? It's about relationships, it is about soul. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know my woman loves me, you feel me? Even though I know she loves me, I know I can feel it. But even in the process of her loving me, I still have to have reciprocity. I still have to have certain things. I have to give back. I have to give back to her. You feel me? That's that's just the that deals with like the law of attraction. You have to give back. If you feel like there's a place in your relationship where you can't communicate, where you can't be in a vulnerable state, you guys make sure you share this. It's somebody you know that needs to hear this. And I'm here. I'm just, you know what I'm saying. I'm just bringing the message. I'm just bringing the message. You know what I'm saying. We know the daytime and hour. We know what people are going through in this life. Um, do is it different? No, it's not different. There's just different strategies on how the enemy tries to divide and conquer. You know what I'm saying? You have to also understand, like, what you look at on TV. You have to also understand what the media is feeding you about relationships. You know what I'm saying? We often always wonder why our relationships don't work. I would say this, I would recommend this to you, women. Stay off of that wives, housewives of Atlanta. Stay off of them housewives. No, 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 no. And I'm not like against your voice, but you have to understand that God has to give you the wisdom to be able to speak to your husband. You know what I'm saying? God has to give you the wisdom. You just don't, you women, you don't know your power. You don't know the power that God gave you. You don't. You don't. You don't understand the power that God gave you. But guess what? You tend to use the power against what God gave you the power for. And that's the part that bothers me. I'm going to get on the men too. But that's the part that really bothers me about the females. Because with the females, they could see a man down and they will kick him they will kick him. You know what I'm saying? They will kick him down the street. But a man, he would see a woman working at Burger King, Taco Bell, McDonald's, and guess what? He would see that woman, and he would step to that woman, and he would change her whole life. He will change her whole life. He will make her the first lady of the church. Now, it's not the fact that I got my heart broken, but at the same time, you have to also understand um, the times that we're living in right now. I mean, this conversation might not reflect to what you got going on in your life. You feel what I'm saying? But there's somebody else that needs to hear the conversation. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody else that's out there confused. Brother, don't be so selfish and don't just make it about you. You feel me? It's not about being heartbroken. It's about helping people at the end of the day. That's what it's about. And if you have anything about helping people grow, helping people with wisdom, knowledge, inspiration, motivation, bro, you're on the wrong channel. Because that's one of the things that we do here. When I talk about relationships, do I have some experiences? Do I have some good experiences? Have I had some bad experiences in relationships? Of course. Of course. And that's why God gives me the ability, you feel what I'm saying, to be able to say what I have to say about relationships. You feel me? Because I got a little time in the game. Somebody need to hear this. Because see, at the end of the day, somebody could make a bad decision where they could get rid of a guy that is actually for them, or get rid of a female that is actually before them for them. You feel me? And then at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you have to really understand these things. I'm not just talking to man. I'm not just talking to woman. I'm talking to people. People don't change. My grandfather always said that. People don't change. People been around for thousands of years. But you have to come to the conclusion. You have to go to the conclusion of how we can coexist together. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to coexist together as a people. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and now, I mean, you have so many things going on. I mean, hey, we in Pride Month. You know what I'm saying? You know, we in Pride Month right now. And there's going to be a lot of festivities that's going on in Pride Month. And guess what? They gonna have some hot dogs and some hamburgers on the grill. You feel me? But I want to talk about us as a people. I want to talk about us as a unit, as you know what I'm saying, families, families, you know. Some things are not like worth arguing about. You know, everything does not deserve a cussing out. Everything don't deserve a straightening. Some things you just got to let rub off your shoulders. That goes for both men and women. You feel me? Learn how to celebrate each other in times of celebration. If you was to get a promotion on your job or even get a job, we gonna celebrate that. You know what I'm saying? If your man happen to have get a promotion or you know what I'm saying, we're gonna celebrate that. We're gonna take all the celebrations in and enjoy every moment. Man, if you guys only could recognize the hard times that we're living in right now, and it's like it's not your fault, but sometimes it's like we really don't recognize the situation. We don't really recognize the times of what we are really living in right now. We really don't. We really don't. I mean, we just, okay. I'm a generational X, right? Man, in the 90s, man, we was living in good times. In the early 2000s, man, we was living in great times. But if you actually take the time out to see how life is right now, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you and your wife can have a baby, and it's like you could actually be having a baby based off of the time that you're living in right now. And then you think about it. Once your baby kind of gets like teenager gets grown, it's like, man, I gotta hold your hand a whole lot more closer than my parents did because we're living in different times. You just can't be so quick now. Like right now in this time that we living in, you can't like be so quick to be like, I'm kicking my son out or I'm kicking my daughter out at 18. Mm-mm. Nah, mm-mm. You can't do that. The economy, inflation. Why would you want to do that when it will put them in a worse place? Now, back in the day, yeah, you can have that mindset. Once you get 18, yeah, you getting up out of here. You got to take care of yourself. You got to, nah. If you do that right now, do you know the damage that you'll be doing to your own kids? Think about it. See, everything is based. Everything is based off the economy. Everything is based off of jobs. Everything is based off of, you know what I'm saying? Every dynamical space of what it would take to to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Just like right now, I'm talking to you guys. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of situations, you may feel like, well, I want to send my kids to college. I want to send my kids, you feel what I'm saying, and get a degree and do all of those things that it took when you was young. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the 90s, in the 80s, yeah, back then it was good to go to college and get your degree, get your career going, and all of that stuff. But in 2024, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. College is going to bring more debt. You can get replaced with AI. My opinion is tech, you know what I'm saying? Doing something that deals with um, industrial kind of stuff. Mm-mm. Nursing, but just to go to college and try to get a degree, think about that financial burden that's gonna be on your relationship, on your marriage. Unless you making money like that. Now, if you making money like that, cool, cool, cool. Yo, kudos to you. If your family making money like that, kudos to you. You know what I'm saying? But just to go to college because my mother went to college, or go to college because my father went to college in this day and time, no, no, no. And even if you got a wife that's pushing that kind of stuff, you have to debunk that. You have to stand up. You have to pull your britches up, and you have to be a man at that point. Right there, at that point, time, situation. Mm-mm, can't do that. Why? It's a lot. It called look. Life is life, but this world is not on her side, and it's not on your side. So some things you have to do as a man, not only to protect you, but you have to protect her. She has a way of thinking and a natural way of doing things. It's like you got a natural way of thinking and you have a natural way of doing things. Guys, make sure you share this, man. I'm telling you, this is a fire. Somebody need to hear this. Somebody in your family, somebody in your friend circle. You know what I'm saying? Somebody need to hear this. When we talking about relationships, we talking about relationships. You know what I'm saying? Because people are setting relationships off. Like I remember when my parents was young, man. You know, and Ice Cube is the oh boy. Listen to what I'm saying. The stuff that was talked about then and their time of growing up and their time of relationships, it's not what was talked about now. You know what I'm saying? When they was young, their relationships and the things that they had to hear was completely different than what we have. We have social media now. We have YouTube. We have Facebook. We have Instagram. We have so much accessibility to celebrities that don't even understand us as just regular people, but we tend to like look at their relationships and we tend to like try to base our own lives off of the things that we see on IG, off of the things that we see on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, we still dealing with certain issues. We still dealing with dysfunctional families. We still dealing with mental issues. We still dealing with so much other stuff. And it's just like a computer program that just crashed. At the end of the day, it just crashed. And then the outcome of it just crashing, what do we do when it crashes? You know what we do when it crashes? We say it is somebody else's fault. When it crashes, we point fingers at everybody else that had nothing to do with us. We we point fingers at everybody else versus making sound decisions on like what's real. You know what I'm saying? What's real? Are you choosing relationships based off of your trauma? Are you choosing relationships based off of certain issues? And then you see um, what happened is you see the issues, and then you see a savior in somebody that has that doesn't have the multitude or the even the intelligence of what you're actually going through. So you look at people and you say, well, you look at people based off of surface values. And when you look at things, let's be honest, when you look at things based off of the surface, what are you going to get in return? You're going to get surface answers. But if you would take the time out, see, that's why healing is so important. And a lot of times people don't like going to counseling or doing anything to bring any kind of sociological logical healing to your mind, to your spirit. You know what I'm saying? You know how many people that like didn't really take charge of their own situation, then they get in a relationship and that relationship was just based off of like uh, surface stuff. They commit suicide. They kill themselves. You know how many lives has been lost? Hey, I'm the realest nigga out here. I'm just trying to keep it 100, man. 100. 100. You just don't know what people go through from a day to day stance, from a day to day experience. But they still want love. They still want acceptance. But they going through hell. They going through so much. I've been there. That has been me. In my life, I've been there. It was only it was only God that could take me through that experience. Take me through that walk, that journey, man. It was only God could do that. And it took me so long. I'm being real with you guys right now. It took me so long to like really recognize and really understand and really get the ability to know that some things I just can't do by myself. Some things, man, I just didn't have the right answer. Some things I just had to learn the hard way. And sometimes tough love is not, I mean, we don't always like tough love. We don't always like tough love, man. Let's be honest. We don't always like tough love is not like one of the things that we are going to like have a thumbs up for, you know. Nah. Mm-mm, mm-mm. But God has a way, or the you, whoever you want to call, whoever you look at as your higher power, has a way that regardless of what you're going through in your relationships, before you take the time out to throw in a towel, before you take the time out to feel like somebody's not listening or the other person is not listening, yo, I know I'm all over the place. But before you decide to do that, take time out. Michael, you know, y'all remember that song? I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm looking for him to change his ways. Come on now, somebody say something. I know y'all remember that, right? Huh? I'll let your boy. Somebody put something in the chat. Y'all remember the man in the mirror changing his ways? Yeah. If you serious about relationships, if you serious about love, it takes all of that, player. Takes all of that, queen. As a man, you got to become a man to play in these streets. As a woman, you got to, as a queen, you got to be a woman to play in these streets. You know what I'm saying? The game ain't supposed to be told. The game is supposed to be sold. You feel me? So what I'm saying, I'm just up here, and I'm trying to um, encourage, motivate, inspire because you don't have a whole lot of that in this social media season that we're living in. We don't have a whole lot of that. We don't. We don't. We don't. Everybody is pretty much phone, face to phone, and a lot of you'd be surprised how many of your kids and how many of your daughters are learning from social media and not learning from you. So my thing is, I want to challenge you guys. I want to put it out there as individuals, as human beings, as white people, black people, all of that. Let's learn how to be more accountable. Let's learn how to be more loving, more caring, have more grace. And that's another thing. Grace. I mean, being more loving, having more grace. Sometimes you have to really understand the situation before you just, you know, put your mouth on stuff, before you have your opinion about something. Get the full story of what could be going on in your significant other's life. Get the full story of what could be going on in your wife's life or your girlfriend's life. Or get the full story before you just sit there and just like have a natural response. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just up here. It's Friday. I wanted to come holler at you guys. Um, Look, make sure you catch me on my next live stream. Um, make sure you watch them shorts. If you catch this on a replay, man, yeah, set your comments. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think about the conversation. You know, um, hey, if you got a disagreement, I ain't got no issue with that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm about to be out this joint. May God bless you. This is your boy, Will-Iam. I'll catch you on the next conversation. Be blessed and understand. Do what needs to be done. God bless you. And I'm out.